Hello, Maverick Traders. Welcome out to your currency recap. It is May 20th. Corey here with you. Let's jump in. We're going to take a look at meaningful news out there, what's moving the equity markets. There was some news out of JP Morgan today. We're going to look at different currencies and crypto, and what a huge day in crypto as rumors swirled about ETFs. We'll touch on that. And then, as always, we'll highlight our very best ideas.
Disclaimer. This video was created for professional Forex and crypto traders. Maverick Currencies is a proprietary trading firm that employs professional traders around the world. Our traders trade firm capital and keep 70 to 80% of profits they generate. All trades and analysis in this video are for professional traders only. If you are interested in becoming a professional Forex and currency trader for Maverick, click the apply button in the video description. Let's break down what happened today.
So today was really all about the crypto markets, in my opinion. So what was the news? Well, there was rumors that a spot Ethereum ETF is coming. You know that when that was rumored, Bitcoin just went skyward, and it was a huge boost to crypto in general. And so people are thinking, well, this is the next stage. This is the next basically domino to fall. And if Ethereum gets an ETF, that should pump that market up, because all of these different ETF companies are going to go buy the cryptocurrency in order to own it, to supply the ETF, so that when you buy the ETF, it's backed by the physical, by the spot actual, Ethereum and so forth. So anyway, it's kind of front running is basically what materializes, and the markets were on fire in crypto land today. JP Morgan announced that they were halting or at least slowing share buybacks and readying for Jamie Dimon's retirement, although not necessarily imminent. They talked about moving roles around and getting prepared for that time. As we look at currencies, quiet day in currency land. British pound has been an outperformer of late. The Japanese yen just continues a death spiral to the downside. And then Aussie and Kiwi, which had been strong, kind of gave up a little bit of ground today. Their charts are still fine, but ultimately a little bit of weakness. So not too much happening except for in crypto. You can see the crypto markets as a basket up 8.5% on the day. What an explosive move. Led by Ethereum, of course, because that's where the ETF rumors and news are circling. And that's the one cryptocurrency that they think will be bought up most. Now, of course, the other cryptos traded higher in sympathy, but it was clearly Ethereum's day. And look, where there's smoke, there's fire. Is there an Ethereum ETF coming? Wouldn't be shocking, wouldn't be surprising at all. So markets are in this upward trend. Now, I had a very specific thesis that we talked about last week, and my thesis was that we were going to continue higher as we'd been bullish, but I expected that we would pierce, kind of shoot above this resistance, and then spike back below. Basically, I called for it to be a little bit of a false breakout. I thought, well, you'll spike above, trigger all those stop losses, do that sort of thing, and then reverse and head back down. And it looked golden. Everything played out perfectly, except for somebody forgot to tell the market on Friday to keep going down. So we pivoted over, we started to sell off, and instead of coming back below this level, it bounced off the lows. And that was the first warning sign. And then today we shot up a little bit more. So essentially you're like, well, we're just going sideways. Maybe it will still play out. It's not broken yet. Well, it sort of is. In essence, what I was expecting would happen is not a consolidation. A consolidation and choppy trading after this much of a rally is actually bullish, and that's not what I was anticipating. I thought a lot of the buying pressure would be exhausted, that we'd basically pierce that resistance, and then the sellers would come back in and drive us back down. It's just not happening, not to this point anyway. So, you could say, well, it's just gone sideways for a couple of days. I think that already breaks the thesis. It can be as quick as that. I exited A couple of positions. I exited a bearish position that I had on playing for this exact thing that we talked about, and I basically took it off at break even. But when it doesn't materialize, you just don't want to sit around and say, well, but maybe it'll still play out. And yeah, it doesn't look like I thought, but maybe this, or hopefully that. That's not really how I want to trade. I'll move on and we'll look for the next opportunity. For this week, you can see we've got the RBNZ statement. Expectations are rates remain unchanged at 5.5. We've got FOMC minutes here in the US. That comes out on Wednesday. We've got some manufacturing and services PMI data in Europe, in the UK, and also in the US. And then, consumer sentiment to wrap up the week. But basically, RBNZ, if you're trading the Kiwi, is the big event. And FOMC minutes can sometimes, this is not like the announcement by any means, but can sometimes be at least a little mini driver of some volatility. So as we look at currencies, look at crypto, here's the way I would stack it up. No question, crypto is the strongest. The best is Ethereum. The weakest of those would be Litecoin, which is lagging a bit, but ultimately they're all acting very, very well from that standpoint. In currency land, British pound looks the strongest. The weakest are the defensive currencies, Swiss franc and Japanese yen. So maybe we pair some of those things up accordingly. So let's talk about possible trades. Well, I would just go more obvious. I mean, you could buy the pound. This is pound Swiss franc. So it's GBP CHF, right? Pound long, Swiss franc short. You can see we've broken out. If you get a little pullback or anything like that, I would continue to play this to the upside. The other pair that would make sense to look at would be GBP JPY. So buy the British pound, play that pair to the upside, which would get you short the yen. That one makes me a little bit more nervous just because the yen has a lot of possibilities. Will the central bank do this? Will they try to go in and defend the currency? And, all these little short-term things that could get you into trouble. So that's why I sort of preferred this pound Swiss franc, just a little bit more stability in it. And also in crypto, if you want to continue to play the upside, one might say, well, Ethereum could keep going because that's where the ETF would come from. I think the safer way to play, if you want to keep playing it to the upside, would be Bitcoin. I'm not saying Ethereum can't go up more than Bitcoin, but it also has a lot more volatility, a lot more risk in my mind. And certainly if you were looking to short crypto and didn't trust this, I think you'd go towards Litecoin as your first and most obvious candidate on the downside. So equities are going to be watching Nvidia's earnings this week. Markets are expecting close to a 10% move is how the options are priced for Nvidia earnings. And obviously, as Nvidia has gone, so has gone the market. So that comes out on Wednesday, and it could move equity markets, no doubt. Crypto and pound on the long side, Japanese yen and Swiss franc more on the bearish side as we look to play relative strength, relative weakness. Hope you enjoyed this currency recap. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next time.